Hey, greetings everybody. Crazy Red here, somewhere in America. I'm actually currently at home, enjoying my little spread here in Key West, Florida. And I've been meaning to make this video for a while, because not only am I a fan of rock and roll music, but I got lucky enough to see the rock festival here in Key West, Florida, over the last weekend. I'm sure many of you are back home, freezing your butts off right now, but I'm still here, basking in the glory that was the inaugural Rock Island Fest here in Key West, Florida. So, not only am I a fan of the music, but an attendee, but I'm also a resident here at Key West, so I thought I'd be the perfect guy to do a review on the Rock Island Festival. So, let me just start off by saying that I am a Gen Xer. I'm 49 years old. I grew up either listening to these bands or throwing darts at their pictures on my dartboard, just like Lars Ulrich did. I was a bit of a thrasher, so some of these bands were kind of not my thing at the time, but I dated girls that liked those bands. So when they were listening to those bands, I was listening to those bands too. And so I had the opportunity to check it out. I thought I'd go check it out. And for me, first off, the big irony for me was that if this had happened 30 years ago, it would have been cocaine and strippers and off-the-chain rock and roll mayhem. But, you got a bunch of Gen Xers now in their 40s and 50s sitting in lawn chairs, being nice and polite to each other. Seriously, it was like the cleanest porta-johnies I've ever seen in my life for a 4-day rock festival. And I'm talking like on Sunday. You could still eat off the floor. It was ridiculous. So it was just like, for me, I remember seeing Skid Row and they're playing Youth Gone Wild, and then people were like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And, nothing against some of the acts, but they were getting kind of geriatric at best. But overall, honestly, I thought it was a great experience. I really enjoyed the nostalgia of it all, even though I didn't listen to all these bands. I made out with girls who listened to these bands, like I said. And so instead of being biased against it, because I'm a thrasher from the fucking 80s, I was like, yeah, sure, what the fuck, let's go see Vixen. Why not? Those girls were all right. And yeah, the shows were cool. The highlights for me were definitely Cheap Trick and Dee Snider, the two headliners that they had. I missed Friday night because I hadn't gotten a bracelet yet, but I was still hustling one up. Here in Key West, we got to put a little hustle in to anything like that. So, which reminds me, I'm also going to be hopefully attending the 0 Mile Festival, which is happening this weekend. So wait for that. But no, in all seriousness, guys, I just want to say, I think that the Rock Festival would be a great addition to the Key West lineup of festivals. Hopefully it'll become a tradition. And, obviously if they're going to keep it around for a long time, they're going to need to get newer acts. So, or at least younger acts. Some of these acts ain't going to be around much longer. But I think the idea is great. And overall, it was a great show. There were some sound issues, but that's to be expected when you've got this many artists on one stage. And as far as like the venue, just to talk about the venue for a minute, it's a new venue here in Key West, and myself and a bunch of my friends, we go to it regularly because we either like are attending events or working events in some cases. Like some of my friends are actually working for the events, and I might even be moonlighting a little bit myself over there, doing my thing, cruising. But yeah, I think it's a great idea, great festival to come into Key West. The people were awesome. Honestly, I want to give a round of applause to the audience because there was about maybe 4,000 or 5,000 people there, and like I said, everybody was so nice and polite and just stoked to be there. But yeah, the irony was, it was just like, wow, we're all over the hill now. This is the peak of the hill, I think, for most of us, and it's all downhill from here. But it didn't look too bad. It didn't look that bad. There were a lot of good vibes going on. And like I said, it was one of the most peaceful and easygoing festivals I've ever attended to. And then, yeah, the bands were cool. Like, okay, honestly, some of the bands obviously had to replace members. So, you know, there was no Sebastian Bach. There was no, what's the name from guy from Warrant, Janie Lane. Unfortunately, he passed away. You know, obviously there were members of Jack Russell's Great White that were not present. You know, and I guess they had to change the name of that. So there was, you know, but I will say that all the artists that were there to work with the original artists, like all the backup line that they brought in, were all top-notch musicians. I can't remember all their names, but I will say that much. Like all the fresh blood that these bands brought to the table were excellent musicians. Aside from a few sound issues, which would be expected, the bands all did really great jobs. Real professionalism was present. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell that the youth gone wild had gone mild. But it was okay. And as Crazy Redz, it's my video for this. Some of my fans might be wondering, like, where's the clips? You know, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't do those kind of bootleg videos anymore. So, but I will leave some links and below in the description eventually for other channels. There's a couple really good channels out there that have a bunch of great videos that really show how great these bands really were and how cool this event was. And I'm just giving my review because I was present, and I'm a Key West local. I'm a local conch, freshwater conch. Been down here almost 18 years on and off. When I'm not in Hawaii or someplace better than that, but you know. Which reminds me, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, and feel free to check out some of my other videos. I got videos all over the country, from Hawaii to Key West to you know, all kinds of different cool things to check out on my channel. So stay tuned for more from the Crazy Redz Show. This video probably needs to be edited, but I'm just going to put it up anyway because I've been waiting too long to do this anyway. I got other shit to do, guys. I hope you're staying high and dry out there and stay in this crazy world. It's Crazy Redz Show. Big thumbs up for Rock Island Fest. Big shout out to Eddie Trunk. See, I grew up in Jersey, by the way, guys, so I knew half these guys from back in the day when they were playing shows at Obsessions and doing interviews with Eddie Trunk on WDHA. So big shout out to you guys and to the promoters, Jesse James, and all you guys. Those of you who got to rub shoulders with the Pirate that weekend, just so you know, Crazy Redz still here. We'll see you in the flow, and see you next year.